Alright, so Mardu Aristocrats. White-red land destruction. Ryland, grab the last deck list from my last video. I didn't add that one to my website, but I'm probably going to soon. So, anywho, Mardu Aristocrats. I know that yesterday, Seth Manfield and a couple of other people were streaming a slightly more aggressive build of Aristocrats that was playing heroic reinforcements that looked sweet. That being said, this build that I have here is a little bit more mid-rangey. You'll notice I've got 4 removal spells as well as Carnival Carnage that are interaction for more aggressive decks. I've got Seraph of the Scales here as well as Teysa to try and generate some more mid-range value. We do have a suite of like creatures here at the bottom, but I've got a touch more interaction than a more all-in build would be. This was a build-around deck submission for someone that requested Judith and Teysa in the same deck, as well as folks that wanted to see Aristocrats in general. So, let's kick the tires here, play a few matches, maybe make some changes and see how it goes. Yeah, we saw someone else play Seraph, and they felt really reasonable. For people who are newer to Magic or unfamiliar with the term, this archetype is referred to as the Aristocrats because, historically speaking, the last time we were in Ravnica, there were 2 cards called Cartel Aristocrat and Falcon Wrath Aristocrat that sacrifice creatures to enable decks similar to this. You can mouse over cards on screen. Hopefully standard stays great as was. I agree, Urkdar. Hopefully. So Tithe Taker here says, during your turn, spells your opponent's cast cost 1 more to activate. And it has Afterlife 1, so it makes a dork when it dies. Oh yeah, I even forgot that you could BM triggers. That's funny. Yeah, it was RTR Innistrad was when that was a thing, right? This is a solid curve here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. It's just elementary. What could it be? Do I trade here? Probably. Wow, that token is sweet. That is a sweet token. Don't shoot my token, Judith. Calm down. Calm down, Judith. Whoa now. Whoa now. Alright. So 1, 2, 3, 4 curve here. Title is updated on my end. Sometimes you have to refresh your stream. And like the fact that gotta balance things out here. The fact that like even if they had a sweeper here, they'd be in a lot of trouble is great. Kill your thing. Judge. We got Judge Judy. We got Judge and Judy here. Well, I guess I technically could have given this vigilance, right? Alright, so they're down to 1. They're getting their Phoenix back, but they're at 1 and they can't kill my stuff, because this triggers on herself, too. Whenever a non-token creature, yeah, so it triggers on herself. Give it Death Touch for value. Oh no! What a punt! They conceded before I could use the animation. What a huge mistake. Alright, so they are playing... They're playing Phoenixes, so this card is good. Mortify on creature was lethal, you're not wrong. Consecrate is actually really good here, right? Because we have a chance to exile the Phoenix before it comes back. And it cantrips. I also love that Consume is a great answer to Carnage Tyrant. Not that it's relevant in this matchup, but it's something that's worth thinking about. They look to be black-red mid-range. I wonder if Carnival Carnage is maybe not good enough. Black-red mid-range decks tend to get their hand empty as we go into the mid to late game, and the Carnival half probably isn't terribly relevant here. I need 3 more cuts here. I'm bringing in 3 Lava Coils and Consume's kind of a removal spell as well. So perhaps I can trim some of these. Are they more likely to have artifacts or enchantments? What do we think? Which are they more likely to have? I guess it's easier to cast Mortify. Mortify is easier on the mana. They're probably more likely to have enchantments too, right? And this is easier on the mana as well. Seems like the cut. So, Carnival is a card that I'm pretty high on in general, that I think it's just generically good. And the reason why I say that is because I expect black-green midrange to still be a major player in the format once it settles out. And dealing 1 damage to something kills Land War Elves, and it kills Jade Light Rangers and Merfolk Branchwalkers in response to their trigger. So it's very, very, very potent in that manner. Oh, they could have a Planeswalker too. That's true. I forgot that Bedevil hits Planeswalkers. That's a good thing to point out. Yeah, I think you're right. Maybe the Bedevil's right because they could have... Oh, they're Grixis. They're Grixis. Okay. Interesting. Anyone have a Mardu Angels list? Yeah, you can find a Mardu Angels list and lots of other decks in my deck queue. I don't know by a lot, but I do agree with you that Terramander probably improves mono blue. The problem with Pestilent Spirit is that it's just kind of a mediocre card on its own, and I don't think I really want to play a mediocre card to make my card that's like already good better. The Esper deck we played was pretty underwhelming. Not to discourage you from watching the YouTube video later, but it didn't feel fantastic. Nick here is also a great reason to have Lava Coil. It's gonna feel a little bit bad if they play another Nick, but I think it's right to play my lands here. They're like already down to 9, which is kind of great. Huh. This gets indestructible, right? Yeah, I didn't mess that up. So they cast Ritual of Soot, and we end up with 3 power across 2 bodies afterwards. This feels amazing, man. They both made a token, and this one made a better token. It had flying. Yeah, this one, the Tithe Taker has Afterlife. What's my favorite deck bend from today so far? Probably the Gruul deck has been the best so far, I think. The mono red Memekin deck was also very good. Yeah, that's a little bit of a different build, Mr. Pig. We talked about at the start of the stream today, at the start of this deck, that was playing a more mid-range build, as opposed to one that was like all in on being aggressive.
To the skies.
We have a touch more interaction than something like that would have otherwise. Well, we just take 5 here, and then we untap, and then we untap and consume this to just completely undo it, and they're dead. Right, they're dead. They're dead to the thing dying. They're also dead to a haste creature. Why is that, Bronze? Why does Teysa doubles Judith's triggers, so Teysa plus Judith is actually a combo. How are we doing, folks? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody wherever out in the world. Thanks for hanging out here today with us. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, 50 hours a week. I play standard best of 3 on Magic Arena, usually 5 to 7 days a week. If you find yourself enjoying my content, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are the people that keep me employed here full-time. I wouldn't be able to be here day in and day out without their wonderful support. Past subscribing, you can also support my stuff by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. Harry's Razors would love to help you get that close, clean shave. Shave. Using code Jeff Hoagland at bit.ly/HoogleShave, you can save $5 on your brand new starter kit with them. Remember, just because you like playing the degenerate decks doesn't mean you need to look like it. Hurly Burly Studios does professional Magic the Gathering altars. They do border extensions and full art replacements. And you can see lots of fantastic stuff on her website at hurlyburlystudio.com, and you can save 10% on the orders you place there by using code Jeff10. Cardsphere.com will love to help you turn your cards into other cards directly to the players. There's no haggling, and they just take a 1% fee off the top. They also recently added a draft simulator to their website, so you can be sure to check that out as well. And of course, Inked Gaming would love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mousepad, binders, and bags with them. You can upload your own custom artwork or choose from the wide range of custom artwork that they have on their website. If you're someone new dropping in today, I appreciate you stopping by and checking out my content. Remember, if you enjoy how I articulate my plays or just, my personality in general in the games that we're playing, be sure to follow the channel. Following the stream doesn't cost you anything. It lets you know when I go live and with what. I'm going to be streaming for a while yet today, probably another 4 or 5 hours, but I also have a YouTube channel where everything I stream gets archived, and I cut it all up by deck, so you can watch just the stuff that you care about. So you have to miss a deck that sounds sweet, you can always check it out on the YouTube channel after the fact. This curve seems great, right? Do I shock this in case they're a Land War Elf deck? What do we think? Is the 2 life going to be relevant? Zanos, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making stuff on Twitch right now that you can give that to, and I appreciate you supporting mine with it. How come I switched from Modern to Arena? Well, Standard right now is the best format Magic has ever had. Or at least before this said it was the best format Magic ever had. And right now it seems just as good. Maybe even better. Who knows? We'll see how it shakes out. Second is that you have to play Modern on Magic Online. And Magic Online's kind of misery incarnate. Am I not a part of Tempo Storm anymore? Yep. Tempo Storm banner right down there below me. Yesterday, we streamed Magic Online for 5 hours, and we barely broke 500 viewers. Today, looking like 7 times that, thereabouts. Really sad that I didn't hit the land for Judith. Magic Online is terrible to watch as well. Agree. There might be merit to holding up Carnival here to kill a Explorer creature. Maybe for the first time in the history of Standard, our opponent won't have a Jade Light Ranger to follow up their Wild Growth Walker. Magic Online is literally 17 years old. It was released in 2002. Yeah, there's no way to capture output from Moto easily. The Esper deck was really underwhelming. Let's just try again here. Not gonna get anywhere with only 2 lands. I mean, yeah, tricolor decks are better with better mana. I'm not quite sure what you're looking for me to say, other than just like validate your statement. The Deckmaster extension can't integrate with Magic Online. The reason the Deckmaster extension works with Arena is because of features that Magic Online doesn't have and likely will never have. Wade Anthony with the brand new tier 1 sub. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. So I want Lava Coils here for sure. I probably want Consecrate Consume here as well, right? If I don't want this card here, where do I want it? I think I'm going to trim the Mortifies. I think I want to keep Carnival Carnage because both halves of this seem like they're going to be relevant at times. Gutterbones probably get stonewalled by a lot of their creatures, right? This can get Death Touch, which seems incredibly relevant. Actually, this card gets pretty stonewalled, right? This one comes back again and again and again. Both of these cards seem kind of lackluster. Am I supposed to transform into this, like, mid-range deck and try and mid-range them? Is that a reasonable option? Magic Pockets with the brand new Prime support. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Do I want Kaya? I guess she fights their graveyard. I'm not even sure if Kaya is good. I guess this is the time to find out, right? I also feel like I'm cutting too many creatures, though. Like, I don't want to cut so many creatures. I think I want to run it like this. I mean, this hand goes 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think setting up to play a longer game is probably one of the places we need to be, because I agree that, like, it's really hard to aggro out the Wild Growth Walker deck, right? No, I'd be pretty surprised if Arena ever had Modern or Legacy. The amount of resources it would take to add those formats to Arena probably doesn't make it profitable. It would take a lot of work and probably would not generate a lot of revenue. Does deal the damage to anything, right? So I played this, which lets this attack into the 4/3, and if they block this, I kill their Land War Elves. Like, sign me up. So if they have a black source, they can exile Judith. And I'm like, I get to play another one. And this is one of the reasons someone commented on why do you have 4 Judiths in this deck. One of the reasons why there's 4 Judiths in this deck is because you can play the second one just to, like, deal damage to a couple of things. Because the legend rule will happen and they'll see each other. Maybe playing the Seraph here is wrong. I mean, it might be right to wait a turn for this because they can just exile it here. I think Judith is fine. Judith trades. She makes your other creatures bigger. She's like an Anthem effect, and she makes she like trades up with things that have 3 toughness. Yeah, the Seraph of the Scales animation is A++. For sure. I'm obligated to block here. I don't know. I feel like all of our choices here kind of suck. I'm going down to 4 here. I guess I can just consume the Jade Light. And, like, that leaves me at 8 again. Yeah, I guess I hit that, right? So let's consume... Let's do this and then consume the Jade Light. I mean, I'm super excited to see someone playing against black-green. Like, if we're playing these decks that are brews, the best way to figure out if your brew is good is to play them against known established decks. Like, playing brews into only other brews is actually the worst sort of testing you can do. I think Kaya is probably too slow and clunky for Modern. The amount of work she takes to get stuff going is, like, really high. Kaya doesn't ever actually impact the board as a problem. She's just, like, only this awkward hate card that, like, also gains you a little bit of life, which doesn't seem fantastic. I wonder if the more aggressive builds of this deck with, like, heroic reinforcements do better here. I don't know, it just seems really, really difficult to, like, aggro through, like, Jade Light Ranger and friends. The Esper Control List was a viewer-submitted build. It was not a deck that I built. Obligated to block here. I'll block this and the trigger will finish it off. Let's try another before we make some changes. See how the more mid-range build that I have here fares against other things. No, I haven't really caught up with a whole lot of other lists that people are playing. I like to start with blank slates a lot of the time, rather than starting with a carbon copy at the beginning of a new format. There's always time to go back and, like, look at what other people have done. It's really easy to become, like, biased that their ideas have to be good. Yeah, second, anybody playing less than 4 Judas in an archetype like this is probably... Honestly, it might be wrong to just play less than 4 Judas in any deck that wants her. I've only got 2 in the Pirates list, but I wouldn't be surprised if we end up on the full 4 before we're done. Looks like Drakes, okay. Like, your second Judith is still a shock that gets split up, and she, like, makes your entire team bigger. Just very, very, very good. Seems fantastic all around. This curve seems great, by the way. Just like Bones, Flame Blade, Judith. Just like 1, 2, 3, boop, boop, boop. Our deck has an okay aggro curve when our opponent doesn't do anything. We have Ritual Asset. Okay. So this puts them to 7. We've not played with Demon Spawn yet today. Alright, I think I go just Tithe Taker, Gutterbones, tapped land here. And then we'll probably Carnage them next turn. Seems reasonable. Person who just whispered me, you are no longer banned. That's unfortunate. Hey, Basic Land, thanks for the brand new Prime support there. I appreciate that. Welcome. So this makes a 1-1. If I can dodge Ritual of Soot here, we could be okay. So let's go ahead and Gutterbones. McShay with the brand new Prime support. Welcome. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine here. If we can dodge a second Ritual of Soot, we can definitely dodge a ball. So that bodes well for us. Removal's pretty good here. So this gets to come back to my hand, and then I can put Pitiless into play. That's not true. Extras, because Nicol Bolas survives Ritual of Soot. Yeah, the new house is great. Been really wonderful. I'm gonna put Gutterbones into play here because I can sacrifice it to Pontiff to make it indestructible. Coin flip cards like Rakdos. I mean, It depends on how competitive a card like that ends up being. Like, if that card ends up being a competitive staple, it's very different than if, sacrifice another creature, sad. Than if it's just, like, a fringe card. Feels like they've stabilized at this point. Yeah, we've had a good group of folks here today, Gara. Been over 2K almost all day and floating over 3,000 for a while here. That is a very good draw here. Smack them for 5. And then, even if they have a sweeper now, Tithe Taker makes a 1/1 afterwards. That's good for us. So they need more Moment of Cravings or Vraska's Contempts here to stay alive. And they do not. Yeah, no, we had that in our last home, and thankfully we haven't had that here. Which is nice. No major issues since moving in. You know, I wonder if I'm supposed to board this card in, because it's a removal spell that cantrips when we don't need a removal spell. What do we think? Zoe Zal, thanks for the brand new Prime Support. Welcome. Thanks for drooping your Bezo bucks this way this month. It is good. It counters Eldest Reborn too. Like, one of the worst things you can have in an aggro deck like this is, like, we need to kill Nicol Bolas and we need to kill the Surveil Demon, but, like, drawing a removal spell when they don't have any of those cards feels really bad. I need to cut 3 cards here if I board like this, though. So, like, what are the cuts? Teysa might be a little bit win more in this matchup. She's expensive. And, like, I guess curving into her is not bad. Maybe I cut, like, 2 of her and, like, only bring in... Let's try my Carnival Carnage, because, like, the Carnival part's not very good here. Dragonheart with the brand new Prime support. Thank you for that. Yeah, I agree. The split cards are quite fantastic. Seraph seems very good. I'm super excited to try Black-White Angels. That seems like an archetype that has a lot of potential. Because, like, the other Angel mid-range decks felt really good last season, and having access to black cards in them can solve some of their control issues. Sounds really good. Need some land, but we're on the draw, so let's do that. What do you think about Priest of Forgotten Gods? I don't know what that card does. Someone pull the card text up for that one for me. A Sinister 86. Thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate it. Hit the red source here like a professional. Get to jam the Fireblade Artist. This card's really good. Oh, does the bot not have it yet? Wow, get Carnival, Hogland. That's rough. I appreciate everybody trying. I'll have to look that up in a second here. Decline. Let's start by attacking. Oh, that one. I don't know. I feel like I just want to be aggressive. That card doesn't seem good to me on the surface. Maybe I'm underestimating it, but I feel like I often don't have that many other things. I think I'm actually going to take Lava Coil here, just because it's their most resource-efficient card. This strands them with a bunch of 4-mana stuff. Yeah, the 5th card issue is live now. Is solved now. We opened 250 packs today. Seraph has an effect if she dies. I think Seraph is very good. I get this back and replay it. Do you have 100% the full set? I have all the rares, commons, and uncommons. I'm missing some mythics. Yeah, there's a lingering soul stapled onto the back of this, which is very powerful, I agree. Alright. That's pretty good. So they have Vraska's Contempt here. Oh, gosh. So we get to attack here. Yeah. Content producers who work on Twitch get to write off the money that they spend on video games to make stuff on Twitch. Do I just Carnage them here? Do I Carnage them here? I could just play the Seraph. Like, obviously, they didn't Vraska's Contempt, which means they plan to draw 2. I think I do this. I guess they can end step Vraska's and then untap Ritual of Sootme, but if that happens, I untap and Carnage and empty their hand. I don't know if that's good enough. Get us up there. Full Metal coming in to Mardu Aristocrats and another month of the mind that I just got better. Thank you for the quarter of a year, a third of a year there. I appreciate it. Welcome back. I don't think I Carnage now. It was really greedy of them not to soot me last turn. I think I just play Tithe Taker and pass. Because if they soot me now, I sacrifice Gutterbones to save this. And then Tithe Taker survives as well. I wonder if not playing a Danto Vanguard in this deck is just a huge punt. Holy crap. Holy crap. Alright, well, we're sacrificing Gutterbones so it can be in our graveyard. Ugh, that's vomit-inducing. And this exiles this so I don't get a token. It does, chat. This is in my graveyard. Chat, please read the cards. I saved Gutterbones from exile. I know I wasn't saving my indestructible creature. I was saving Gutterbones from being exiled. Work with me, people. Exile all creatures in all graveyards that were put there from the battlefield this turn. If a creature would die this turn, exile it instead. Oh, this card's really weirdly templated. Exile all creatures from all graveyards that were put there from the battlefield this turn. Weird. Okay, so that's bugged that I'm not going to use the Gutterbones. We should read. It had nothing to do with the stack. Have a ban. Sorry, that was supposed to be a timeout. Can a mod fix that for that person? No, this card literally says exile all creatures in all graveyards that were put there from the battlefield this turn. So this card should have exiled No, that one. All right, let's consume this guy. And get back to playing Magic. Gutterbones. Buttermoan. Wow, that's aggro. I guess they're feeling pretty safe at 7. Yeah, there's two exile effects on this. When it resolves, it exiles everything that went to the graveyard this turn, and then it also exiles everything else for the remainder of the turn. Landor, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. Welcome. So this should be exiled. This is an arena bug that this isn't exiled, if I'm understanding this card correctly. Exile all cards that are put in a graveyard from the battlefield this turn. So. What's going on, Moose Juice? Thanks for the 8 months. I appreciate that. Alright. Let's take the next one on the play here. Google Butter One. What's going on, Brecken Sky? I feel like it's been a hot second. Hope you're doing well. Yeah. At resolution, that card checks to see, hey, what went to the graveyard this turn? Exile all of it. I feel like this card wasn't good enough. I'm going to bring in the other Teysas. Because, like, curving Afterlife creatures into Teysa or Judith into Teysa is really good. I love the people. So there's a bunch of people in chat who did what I did, which is you didn't read the card and you just assumed it was templated like they've templated cards like that in the past. That card's templated differently than Magic cards have been templated in the past. All of the decks I plan to play on stream can be found in the deck queue. Not a whole ton with Seraph. This is the first deck we played with her today. Alright, what you got? They have double Angrath. Alright, leave you with 5 mana cards and lands. Yes, the Cry is designed. Afterlife must have been very good in the Future League. And honestly, this is one of the things that I think makes this current standard format very good that made previous standard formats bad. They're printing powerful cards in this standard format, but at the same time, they're printing powerful answers, and that answer threat balance is key to games that are interactive and interesting, and that's one of the big reasons why this format has been so good. Yeah, like, if they Ritual of Soot here, they're still basically dead. If they Ritual of Soot, they're gonna take 4. I mean, this hand has literally been just red-black aggro, right? So, like, Mardu's neat, I guess, but, like, that hand wasn't really a Mardu. Would you make a Biogenic Ooze build around? Definitely. Unfortunate that this is Consume and not Carnage. Obviously, we can't know that things are going to go that way. Awkward. I think it's correct to use this because I could draw like another Gutterbones to discard here. Like, we're gonna not draw a creature and feel real bad. All right, we drew Judith. That's a real good one. Here's for said build around. Thank you, Rycat. I appreciate it. So I get to sacrifice Judith, which lets me deal 1 to them, which makes this indestructible and gives a death touch. This eats Nick. This card's really sweet. Unfortunately, don't have mana to bring back old Gutty here. Hopefully they have a shock land for their 5th land. It's a lot of beef up there. Yeah, rare lands are generally one of the safest things to craft because basically every deck uses all the rare lands in their colors. Alright. Looking at what this deck is doing and thinking about it some more, Carnival Carnage has been a little underwhelming, which makes me sad, so I was kind of hyped about this card. What are some of the other cards people have been suggesting? Sublagar with the sub gifty, I appreciate that. Welcome. Is there a Priest of something that someone recommended? Priest of Forgotten Gods? I feel like this one's kind of hard to enable. Someone else talked about Alendra. Duskrose. I don't know if I like Duskrose. I think I prefer Seraph of the Scales. I don't think I want more 4s. What's the 2-drop? Enforcer. I think I'd like another 1 or 2. I don't think that's good enough. Hero is the one that makes tokens when you play a multicolor card, right? Yeah, this card seems okay. I think I'm in for this. That seems fine. Whenever you play a multicolored spell, and I've got 8, 14, 18, I've got 22 multicolored spells. Midnight Reaper. Midnight Reaper's interesting. I already have 12 2s. Midnight Reaper's good with Teysa too, right? Midnight Reaper's good with Teysa as well. Gruesome sounds interesting. These Kayas in the board have been stupid, so I'm gonna cut those and put in 2 Gruesome Menageries. Let's try this. I think I want to hold off on jamming Heroic Reinforcements in here for the time being. Stay a little bit more mid-rangey. I think jamming Heroic Reinforcements is probably a fine direction to take the archetype, but it's not the one I want to try just yet. I mean, we have a lot of non-token creatures in our deck. How many non-token creature decks do we have in our deck? Yes. We have 33 non-token creatures. Knight's probably fine. Midnight Reaper's probably fine. Sign me up. Look at this. Real decks have curves, chat. 1, 2, 3. It's just elementary. What could it be? You can find an updated Experimental Frenzy deck in the deck queue. That's one someone's donated for, so it'll be coming. This feels pretty good. And like, if like, look at this board. If they play Deafening Clarion next turn, I'm left with 2 power and I draw 3 cards. Sweep me, baby. The Esper deck was real bad. So, let's talk about my last turn. I elected not to play Seraph of the Scales because I didn't want to get counterspelled. And now Pontiff here is pretty good for us because it means I can full attack into the Settle the Wreckage here. And I can sacrifice all 3 of these and draw 3 cards should they have the Settle the Wreckage. So, like, I don't feel great if they have Settle. But if they do, we're still in an okay spot. Oh, they can't play Tithe Taker. Right. Okay, so that'll cost 5. Got it. I was wondering, I paused for a second because the growth spiral said it cost 1 more. Yeah, Pontiff, someone asked earlier what the Aristocrats are of this deck. Pontiff is one of the Aristocrats. It's very good. Bedevil's actually not terrible. How much do I want to attack into this settle? Probably a lot. So I want to make sure I sacrifice Midnight Reaper last. Midnight Reaper was a good addition. That was a good suggestion. Oh, that's so weird. That's so weird. It, like, asked me to click on them still. So I'm not playing Judith out because I want to hold the Bedevil up. Because if they draw Teferi, they could start comboing. Hey, Spawn Broker, thanks for the brand new Prime support. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. No, it's not a bug. It's just, like, a weird interface thing. This is non-token. This is non-token as well. Sounds like the audio is going Mr. Roboto. Yeah, I need to kick it soon. Yep. Alright, so if I shock this in, I can play Judith, play Gutterbones, still hold up Bedevil. And I'm not going to do a full sponsor plug here, but I'm going to kick this real quick. Otherwise, it stays robotic and it's annoying. It's been... I guess we've only restarted once today and we've been going for 7 hours. And it's about every 3 hours that we have to kick it, so that makes sense. Because we didn't actually start playing Arena till an hour into the stream. Bronze with the sub gift. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Look at that. Didn't even hit my rope. Restarts so quickly. It's wonderful. Sweet duo. Alright, so here's the real question. Do I sack Pontiff, shoot them with Judith, and pick this back up this turn? I think I do, right? What do we think? Or I just come back to me? What? Yeah, I can. Only activate this, only, never mind. Shh. Listen, I've never played with Magic cards before, chap. Literacy is a big problem among Magic players. Frilled Mystic? Really? Okay, that's interesting. Huh. Are they dead? They don't have green mana up, right? So they're probably dead. What if I attack with everything? Okay, alright. I just, I was making sure we couldn't miss anything. Alright, a bunch of Duresses sound great. But Bedevil and Mortify actually don't seem terrible here. What am I cutting for these Duresses? I guess Teysa's good at doubling up Judith and Midnight Reaper. Seraph at the scales is probably too slow for this matchup, right? I just want to drag my curve down and be efficient. Yeah, Midnight Reaper was a big gain. It might even be right to just gem 4, honestly. So, like, these cards have meaningful text boxes in this matchup. Like, they can't actually win the game without a Search for Azcantor or a Planeswalker going. So maybe the Mortifies are good cuts, but they usually have a lot of Planeswalkers in their deck. So I kind of like leaving the Bedevils in. Maybe I leave one Seraph in my deck. Yes, yeah, whenever you search your deck, you still shuffle. This hand's great. Sorry, we're sending my wives a message. Oh, you know what? I should lead on small mistake that probably doesn't matter because they're playing Turbo Fog. Should have led on Godless Shrine so I could play a tap land next turn and not shock. Now I have to shock to play that. I'm gonna come and let you know that Huey, Owen, and Shahar are currently complimenting you on stream. That's nice. We seem like good folks. Hoaglander said their regards. If Ben, I watched a little bit of Jensen's stream while we were waiting for Magic Online to come up yesterday. He was doing some good stuff. The artwork on this card is really well done. Seb McKinnon's kind of been killing it. A lot of his stuff's been very well put together. Missed the beginning of the stream. Is this a God account, or did you crack a bunch of packs? God accounts, as far as I'm aware, don't exist for Magic Arena. I give Wizard of the Coast copious amounts of money, so that way I can play all these decks for your edutainment. Do I want to play into Frilled Mystic here? If I play Judith and they Frilled Mystic me, I'm gonna feel real bad, right? I think I just attack. I think I just want to smack them for 3. It takes 250 packs to get all of the rares in the set without any wildcard usage.
Trust me, you'll thank me later.
I love how when people come in, they're like, "No, dog, you're wrong," and they're like, the person's like aggressively wrong, telling me I'm wrong.
You know what?
Just like, man, Magic players. Jeff doesn't know what he's talking about. No, I know exactly what I'm talking about. I am in fact correct here. Yeah, the VIP streamers were on a separate server where they could only play with each other, and they did have God accounts there, but in the general population, they don't exist. They said even the WotC employees, they got a small gift for free, but they don't have fully loaded accounts. I think I'm far enough behind that I just can't afford to play around Settle the Wreckage, which feels bad. All right, maybe they don't have it. This card's very impressive. And like, that's one of the things, especially early in a format when you're trying to figure out what decks are good, is instead of trying to focus on specifically what decks are good necessarily, focusing on what cards are good tends to go a long way. Hey, what's going on, Frodan? The Groll deck and the Mono Red Steamkin deck that we played as the first 2 decks today both felt very reasonable. We played an Esper deck that was a little bit middling. This seems okay. I don't know if this is 100% great, but there's something here. Judith is great. If this Aristocrats archetype isn't fantastic, I think there's likely a red-black aggro deck that's really good in this format somewhere. Maybe even a couple of them. Is the mono red deck on my website? It is on my Stream Decker page here. Whoa, that's a good one. I love the blue-green animation as it picks the cards up. Isn't playing Gutterbones overextending? I mean, I need to get them dead. I just don't have any gas left. At a certain point, you just, like, can't afford to play around things. You just need to make them have stuff. Light the stage was really impressive. And again, just like focusing on the looking at cards that are good as opposed to like saying we broke it with a deck. Like Light the stage seemed very, very good. I don't know if I'm sold on Wilderness Reclamation. I feel like there's a non-zero chance that this Wilderness Reclamation ends up being a win more card. Like, when Wilderness Reclamation looks good, it's going to look absurd, but I think there's going to be a lot of games where, like, you are going to win anyways, and Wilderness Reclamation just lets you do it, like, one turn sooner. I've not crafted or built any Jund decks yet. I think I have a build around Jund in my queue. I don't recall. There's a lot of decks in the queue. Old boy Merlin, thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Do I want to change anything? I don't think I do. I guess with those giant hydras, I kind of want to Mortify in my deck, just like have a third way to kill them. Just want to say, have you on audio for my long commute home after a miserable 11-hour day at work. I just wanted to say, hearing how excited you are getting over this deck gets me excited for the videos. Thank you, like Amash. Hope your evening goes well. This hand, double Bedevil in the opener is really lackluster, but just Tithe Taker into Judith is very strong. This card's really good against a deck full of instant speed things, believe it or not. Just because it, like, makes them all cost one more, right? Where can we find the decks you played today? Under decks are all the decks we played today. Deck Q will get you to all the decks that we still have yet to play. So the Bant Flash, the Grixis Conjecture, Bant Fog, those are decks that are going to be coming up later in the stream. That is fantastic. Perfect. Good clean curve here. So getting a little bit punished for having Bedevil instead of Mortify here. Again, we kind of had to pick our poison, whether or not we wanted to hedge. Currently on my way to 5-0 with your Sultipod list. That's great to hear, Dougie. I had fun putting that one together. Have you gotten to pod the Bone Dragon and get the Bone Dragon back and pod it again? Because that sounds excellent. That sounds truly, truly wonderful. Oh, that's good. Double Tithe Taker stacks, which means they can't settle the Wreckage me next turn because settle costs 6. They could Cleansing Nova me next turn. Cleansing Nova would be bad. Yeah, Sultipod's on my website. Yeah, I said Bone Dragon. There are, again, if you're looking for sweet standard decks, look in my deck queue. A lot of them are ones that have been built by me. Other ones have been viewer submitted, and I've tuned a little bit. All right, sweet scoreboard. Let's play one more. I think taking the Carnival Carnages out was a good move, even though I'm kind of hype on that card. It was feeling clunky here, so maybe it's not good. We've not played the pod deck yet today. It'll be coming up later. So there were like almost 40 standard decks with new cards in the deck queue when we started today. So I'm going to be doing like 10 to 12 hours of stream today, and then like 10 hours tomorrow and 10 hours Saturday. So we're going to get through a lot of decks. And remember, if you can't see all the decks live here on Twitch, you can also catch them on my YouTube channel later. YouTube.com/Jeff Hoagland. I cut everything up by deck, so you can easily search for just the ones you care about. Yeah, Carnival might be better in a mid-range deck. I agree with that. This hand needs some lands, but if it hits them, we get to curve 2, 3, 4 very nicely. We got a little bit of interaction here. Best of 3 ranked is coming at the end of the month, so January 31st. I mean, Standard was pretty wide open with the old set, and what this new set has done for the format is it's put better mana into a variety of decks that just were a little bit too inconsistent before. Really want to draw lands the next 2 turns, please. What do the Aristocrats mean in this context? That's a good question. We talked about it earlier, but it's good to mention again as people come in and out. So the last time we were in the Innistrad plane, or 2 times ago, and Ravnica, there were cards called Cartel Aristocrat and Falconwrath Aristocrat that sacrifice creatures for added abilities. And this archetype that was Mardu colored, which is red, white, and black, built up around these cards to generate these kind of tricksy combat steps. So this style of gameplay, which is like sacrificing creatures for value, is referred to as an Aristocrats deck in Magic jargon. Alright, Electromancer makes me think they're less likely to have something like Fiery Cannon made, looking like they're a Drake's deck here, which, the fact that we've drawn 3 removal spells here is actually pretty good if they're playing the Drake's deck. Priest of the Forgotten Gods. I don't know what that card does. Do we look at that one? I feel like, oh, that's the Sacrifice 2, right? I don't know. Like, keep like looking, like people keep talking about Priest of the Forgotten Gods. I don't have wide boards in this deck. Like, Priest of the Forgotten God needs a lot of things in play to go right. Like, I'm barely having enough creatures to sacrifice to Flameblade. I don't think we haven't sacrificed anything to this card yet, right? I think I'd much rather play something like this that's aggressive rather than something like that. Yeah, I think it needs a token generator. Like, maybe it's worth trying, and at some point maybe we will, but I don't think today. And my gut says that card needs a better enabler. Some way to pump tokens. Yeah, maybe some kind of Abzan deck with like March of the Multitudes and stuff like that, or the 2-mana Sap Rolling card. What's the record with this deck? I think we're about a coin flip. I don't really keep track of the records while we're playing decks, especially new in the format. I'm just trying to like get a feel for like which cards feel like they're powerful or are doing something cohesive. Ooh, with the Dryad, yeah, I could see that being reasonable. Well, that's unfortunate. So we have been missing lands for a while here, but we're now finally out of castable spells. Because while we weren't drawing lands, we were at least drawing 2-drops. I'm playing Seraph as opposed to Alendra because Seraph is evasive and makes evasive tokens. I've seen other people playing Alendra, and she seems kind of interesting, but I really like the flying. What was red, black, white called then? We really didn't, we just called it red, black, white. There were old colors from the Apocalypse block that technically had names, but people didn't really use them. All right, if they want to trade for one of these, I'm okay with that. That's ancient, yeah. Apocalypse is, 19 years ago at this point, right? Apocalypse was was Apocalypse 1999? No, it was 2000, right? What's my favorite deck so far today? I think the Gruul deck we started with has been my favorite so far. Stupid desk. Enjoy the ride down, folks. Why don't I draw more land? Because I'm incredibly unlucky, and the deck is stacked against me, and the Arena Shuffler is rigged against me. Everything's unfair. The mono red deck we played to start today was also pretty reasonable. How did Fish do? The Sultai Merfolk deck was kind of lackluster. I really hope this Bant Flash deck is good. Or can be turned into something good. It's like, I just love that archetype so much. Alright, land please. Land please. We're gonna like draw a land and there's gonna have a dive down and it doesn't matter. Oh, that worked. I was not prepared for that to work, chat. I was not prepared for that to work. All right. Hype.
No amount of science is gonna fix this.
I'm still using the same desk extras. I'm planning to buy a new desk once we finish my permanent studio space. Oh, they can't dive. God, this card is so good. I don't know that I could play this card in paper, because I would never remember that it is a text box. Just like, not in a million years would I remember that this card has text. You just be like, yep, that resolves. And you'd be like putting your Tithe Taker in the bin later and be like, no, wait, it does a thing. It's supposed to do the thing. Man, they had the dive down too. Wow. Woof. Yeah, I think we've stumbled a little bit too long here. Probably needed to hit a turn sooner. This Murmuring Mystic's gonna put us away really quick. I just cut the cannonades for Whirlers. We didn't actually test it though, so I don't know if it's good or not. I'm gonna concede when this doesn't resolve. You can find the last memekin list that we played on my decks page here. Extra Mortify sounds good. Gutterbones is probably bad here. I'm bringing 3 Duress. What do we think of this? This seems reasonable. Let's give this a go. Why do I think I lost? Because my opponent has a card that's going to block my stuff indefinitely, and they're activating Azcanta yet. Again and again and again. How long have we been playing this deck for? About an hour. If this goes to a game 3, it'll probably be the last match, but if we get 2 out here, I'll probably play one more. Judith has been really good. I don't know if this deck is the right shell for Judith, but my takeaway from playing this deck so far has been that Judith is great and there's something powerful to be done with that card. We've not had a Dovin bot interplay yet. Fargo with the brand new tier 1 sub. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Welcome. You had them basically dead. Yeah, kind of. If you completely ignore the fact that they were going to get to activate Azcanta twice to find a counter spell or a removal spell to break up the thing that you're claiming is basically dead, sure. When you live in this magical wonderland where your opponent never has anything and you have everything, you're right. We had a chance to win there. And I'm not saying that we were 0% to win that game. I concede games that we have percentage points in all the time. What I am saying is that we were incredibly unlikely to win from there, so I stopped playing and moved on with my life, because this isn't a tournament match of Magic where, like, I have to wait an hour for the next thing to go on. The faster we play games, the more games we get to play here. The last version is always the last version we played. So whichever one's the last upload timestamp. This card's been good too. Just like 2/2 haste with like small upside has been good. It synergizes well with Gutterbones as well, which is great. The last one was very dead. We were very, very much we're not winning that game. Yeah, you can submit a deck using the form here. There's a Google form that you need to fill out. Helps me stay a little organized. Yeah, just like the Fireblade, like Gutterbones, Fireblade, Judith, Midnight Reaper, like that, those 16 cards, like figure out what else goes with those, and you probably are gonna end up pretty well off. You could very well have won. Yep. More games. And like, again, like, especially when we're in a new format like we are right now. Oh my god, I played the wrong land. Oh. Matthew's bringing me dinner. We'll be less sloppy once Matthew brings me dinner. Hey, Draka, thanks for the tip. I appreciate it. I've been testing Mardu Midrange Angels today to your list. I'm wondering if I could get your thoughts. Dark, I don't look at deck lists while I'm streaming. There's just too much going on. Heroic Reinforcements. Heroic Reinforcements is fine. Like I said, we mentioned earlier, and if people, maybe you weren't here, I've seen the more aggressive builds that some other folks have played, and they definitely seem interesting. Listen, Klets, I didn't say why, I just said we'd be less sloppy. Come on now. Do Prime subs go toward decks? Negative. Tier 2 and Tier 3 subs go toward decks, as always. You can read all the details on the deck queue system works on my site here. Alright, who's ready to get cannonaded and concede? I know I am. So I traded a Fireblade for 5 points of damage here, which I think is an okay trade for us, but I'm not sure. Really need to find a piece of removal for this. Knock it out of the way. Steam vents. So far, it's just been a 2-2 with haste. Great content. Keep it up. HS Cheese, thank you for the support. I appreciate it. I think in a just straight red-black deck, I think I'm actually not attacking this turn, so I'd like to sack that and deal 2. Woof. I guess I could attack here with just this. This is probably a free attack. Yeah, I messed up that combat step. I should have attacked with that. I think it's a free attack. Yeah, I should definitely send with this. I think in a straight red-black deck, this acts as a nice pseudo-sacrifice outlet, even if it's not super consistent like this. Like, this is like a Judith enabler. Like, this with a Judith on the board deals 3 damage with a sacrifice creature, which is, like, not a small amount of damage. Is there a way to target things under the stack? Yeah, there's this little arrow here that hides the stack. In the top right. Okay, it's not a bad draw. I wonder if they have a maximized velocity next turn. I'm trying to think why they would attack there. Now that I have my mod sword, I look at other Twitch chats the same way an avid hunter looks at nature documentaries. What's going on, Tithe? Thanks for the 13 months. Welcome back. Yeah, like, if I'd have taken the attack with this before, I'd be attacking for lethal right now. We have drawn a lot of land this game, but, like, again, like, you can't just write off the games where you draw a lot of land as, like, that's the only reason, right? Like, you need to look deeper than that. Hitting the Duress here is actually okay, because, like, if they have a removal spell, they can't kill this in response. We might see them kill this. Sure. I mean, we're actually in an okay spot here. I didn't sack the token because I wanted the ability to draw another creature to end this turn with 3 creatures in play. If their last card's an instant or sorcery they can cast, we're very dead. I think they're supposed to attack with Enigma Drake here regardless and just leave themselves dead to a removal spell if they have nothing. Just want to put me on a 2-turn clock, I think. What about Devil's Bit instead of Duress? I don't know. That's really good. And by really good, I mean, Alright, well, we had them dead if they had nothing. Let's play one more. Is the range to trade an uncommon and common for rare or mythic? No, not really. This deck's got some lines going on. I think there's definitely a lot of different directions you could explore. Like, people are talking about hero and heroic reinforcement. I think that's another great direction to take it. This is definitely an archetype that doesn't build itself. There's a lot of different branches that go out in different directions that lets you play some matches better and some matchups worse. Like I said, I think my big takeaway from playing this set of games is that I really want to try a straight black-red version. This is another black-green matchup. We're gonna play like a 1-3, and I'm gonna look at my 2-2 with haste and just like weep silently. If they play Jade Light Marine, I might concede the match. Might just like move on to the next one. This is just like your friendly reminder that like all the decks that were good before this set released are likely still good. All right, that's beatable. I can work with that. That one does stuff maybe. I think I'm actually gonna wait a hot second on Judith and play Pontiff into Hunted Witness here. Pass the turn back. Carnage going on. I mean, like, getting to play against Golgari is a good thing. It slams us firmly into reality. Do I want to sacrifice this? Nah, I'm gonna decline. Listen, if I wanted reality, I wouldn't be watching someone else play a digital card game. Fair. Fair. This blocks. See, I don't know why you would jump with this. Maybe I'm supposed to attack with this too. I think not attacking with this was wrong. Because I have Judith in play, if they try to eat this, the Judith trigger would kill this. Like, I have some removal spells, but like not a ton.
You are only hurting yourself.
What's going on, Tanuki Hero? The new set's been sweet. There's a lot of good key cards. We had two awesome different archetypes that we started off the day with. The Meankin deck and the Girl mid-range monsters deck both felt good. Judith has been an all-star in this deck in the games that we've played. We're going to be getting to my favorite deck on the list today, which is Bant Flash next. Hopefully that deck is as fun as it looks. I'm a big fan of playing out on my opponent's turn. It's one of the best things about Magic. I have Vraska's Contempt here. Is that what this means? This means Vraska's Contempt, right? Do you have a list for Girl Monsters? Yeah, you can find all the decks that we played in my Stream Decker page from today. Alright, let's start by attacking this way. Pretty sure this is Vraska's Contempt, so I'd like to just get Karn off the table. Soul-type pod's been fun? Good. Good. Ip, cheerio. So, like, this really doesn't work out for them, right? Like, I sack this, which gives this Death Touch, which kills Wild Growth Walker, and then it deals the damage here. Oh, I guess this only does 1 to Karn. Did I not update the stream title? I thought I did. Yeah, it says Mardu, Aristocrats, Bant, Flash, Grixis, Conjecture. Sounds right to me. Alright, play my Flyer. Flyers are very good in this matchup. Golgari's really good at stalling the board, so getting to go over the top of them is valuable. Sounds like my monsters are home. Matt's supposed to be heading this way soon. The Seraph animation is A+. Really love it. Man, I just can't shake this cough. That time of year. Today's supposed to be the last day we have above freezing temperatures in Illinois for like the next week. Alright, sweet. So that find is hopefully gone. I guess they could have multiple cards. That's brutal. I get to kill Karn in the air thanks to Seraph, but like, they get to gain 6 here and like have a big thing. Yeah, I like the spectacle animation a lot. You want to come say hi, Declan? Come say hi.
No, I'm trying to get the butter sandwich cookies from your office first.
Oh, you want the butter sandwich cookies from my office?
No, I'm talking about the boxes.
Boxes? I don't have a box down here, buddy.
No, those are not the butter sandwich cookies.
You're right. I don't know where they went. Can you look behind the couch? I think there might be one behind the couch in the box. I will. I'll lock the door momentarily. Normally I'm done streaming by now, but we're running late today. Oh, I forgot to give this vigilance. Whoops. Probably doesn't matter. You know what the best part about the new house is, chat? My office has a door that locks. It's glorious. Sorry about that. I confirmed. The 3-year-old was correct, and there were no butter sandwich cookies in sight. It's kind of a travesty. Alright, I would like everybody to appreciate this for a minute. I just take it and appreciate it. It's truly, it's the little things in life. It's a little bit, just a little bit, I wonder if that's gonna get old quickly. There's a chance that gets old quickly. Thanks for the biddies, Coons. So, Gutterbones with Fireblade Artist is kind of an engine here, right? So, like, even on a stalled board like this, like, we sacrifice Gutterbones, trigger our whatever this is called, not quite spectacle, but kind of, and then pick it back up and replay it. So we're gonna be hitting them for 6 a turn here, which like, if depending on like what the rest of the things they find here, we're gonna be in an okay spot. And like, Pitiless Pontiff is holding this board at bay because it gains Death Touch and Indestructible, so they don't have good attacks here. Brings you back to the Gravecrawler days, yep. Ah, Butterbones, God bless. Wow, that's rude. I guess this lets them... I guess this means they can attack next turn, because this won't have Death Touch next turn. Like, I get to sack it, but, like, now I can't give this Death Touch next turn, because I played both these Gutterbones. So my sequencing here was bad. I should have played the Gutterbones post-combat, because now they get an attack step. Yikes. Yikes. This match does not seem good. I feel like I'm gonna be done with this. So I mean, even if I hadn't made that mistake, the finality still, like, put us in the coffin. My takeaway from playing this deck is Mardu kind of feels clunky here, and I feel like I want to explore either direction that this deck can go in, which is that we could play a black-red aggro deck with Gutterbones, Fireblade Artist, and Judith, and we can also play a kind of black-white mid-range deck with, like, Seraph, Tithe Taker, and, like, stuff along that lines. So I feel like this deck was kind of middling between the two. The idea of playing a Mardu deck with heroic reinforcements is probably a little bit better direction to go, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I think I would want to try red-black aggro and black-white mid-range separately. All right, what are we doing next? Is it Bant flash time, chat? Is it time to put Frilled Mystics on the stack? I think it's time to put Frilled Mystics on the snack. It's time to snack on Frilled Mystics. A snake, oh, it's a snake. All right, chat, you're a lizard, Harry. You're a lizard, Harry. Let's update the stream decker. Post on the Twitters. Those animation tilt biddies can be dealer choice. I think we're at 400. Sounds good, Coons. Thanks for the support.